Hello everyone, I'm Kaitlin.
And I'm Jillian.
And we are the hosts of the OK Drama podcast.
We're two friends recap and break down K-dramas one episode at a time.
We are back at it with episode 11 of Descendants of the Sun, and we were left with another cliffhanger, but this time it was like really personal, I guess.
Yes.
And kind of like really sad.
Yeah, very sad. It's been, I think, the craziest episode that we've seen so far.
Yeah.
Out of all of them. And we've seen a lot of crazy shit go down.
Totally. Shit goes down in Newark.
Yeah, there's so many different scenes and so many different scenarios and things that are going on. It's a lot. It's wild, yeah.
So let's get right into it. We're going to start the episode the way we start every episode by going over the synopses from Cocoa on Hulu. The Cocoa synopsis is Dae-young and Myung-ju were isolated and Medicube was designated as a facility for M3 virus patients. The medical services team and the soldiers have been working together to fight the M3 virus.
And the Hulu synopsis says Dae-young and Myung-ju are under quarantine, and Medicube is designated as the base medical facility for treating the virus. Everyone works hard to fight the epidemic, but an ominous shadow blocks the truck carrying the much-needed medical supplies.
Wow, Hulu.
Yeah.
Ominous
shadow.
I feel like Cocoas are progressively getting more simple and worse.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was very hard to read that, I guess, synopsis because there was no punctuation.
Yeah.
It's just like a bunch of words, and I don't...
And it's a lot of the same words, like Medicube, medical, M3, facility, virus, like all these same words that are repeated throughout.
Yeah.
And it's really just talking about one thing.
I know.
And a lot happens.
It does. Yeah, I feel like, a 2 or 3 sentence synopsis cannot, adequately cover everything that goes on in a K-drama.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or else it'd be like Vicky synopses, which is basically, that would be how I would write a synopsis. It would just be like a 6-page
literally everything that happened.
Yes, everything is so important. Look at the way he looks at her. Oh my god.
The feels.
Yes, all of it. Okay, so episode 11. We start with the girls, Moyeon and Myung-ju, still in quarantine, having just finished the surgery to remove the blood diamonds from Jin Young-soo, a.k.a. Richard. And they're having, I guess, a nice bonding time, considering
absolutely.
the circumstances. They talk about whether or not they're scared of catching the disease. And Myung-ju reminds Moyeon that she is most afraid of being separated from Dae-young. And then we see him come barging in, and he gives her, the biggest, most masculine hug ever, and she tells him to leave, but we all kind of know that she's the one who caught the disease. Mm-hmm. And she says, "This is a little scary."
Yeah, I like that one little line. I don't know how I would react in that situation if that was me. I would probably just immediately start crying.
Yeah.
If Andrew hugged me in that situation, oh man, I'm fucked.
Yes.
Instead of just this is scary, I would be losing my shit.
Well, and I think Myung-ju too tries to put up a pretty brave front. And so when you see her being uh-oh, we know shit's about to go down.
Yeah, absolutely.
So she tells Shijin to take Dae-young and get out of the room because the virus is still alive. And Dae-young says he'll stay with her. And then a nice instrumental version of the I Love You song plays. And then Myung-ju tells him to leave as a doctor and as a soldier because, she's ranks above him in both circumstances, which is kind of funny. But yeah, she's get out of here.
She's the boss.
I have the virus. It's active. So then we cut to Dae-young getting his blood drawn by Moyeon, and he asks her questions about the M3 virus, and she tries to remain pretty professional, but she also reassures him, saying that Myung-ju is young, strong, and healthy, so her chances of dying are lower. So that's good.
That's good. But then it kind of flips, and suddenly in the scene, she's talking to Shijin, and she explains that even though Myung-ju is young and healthy, there's still likely to be complications. So she's not really in the clear at all.
Right.
Shijin looks nervous, but Moyeon tells him that her and her team will use all of the methods they know and will fight hard against the disease. We then see both Moyeon and Shijin addressing their respective teams about how they're going to proceed with this virus and what routines they need to do. And both of them are really good. They're in their element. They're doing their job. They're being awesome.
Bosses.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're calm and collected. Even though these are people that they know and care about, they're doing what they got to do. And it's cool to just see them both working and with their people and stuff.
Yeah, being like really confident and capable people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so then we get the title scene, or like title card or whatever, and we're back to sand, even
No
though
more bullets.
Last week we had a really cool bullet through water situation. But then we cut to Nurse Ha tending to Dr. Song, who is in the hospital. And at this point, we aren't really sure if he has the virus or not, but like it doesn't really seem like he has the virus. I think they say like he probably just has a bad cold or something. But they reminisce about how he helped her practice drawing blood. And he looks so in love with her. Like, I think part of it is he's probably loopy from being like sick. But he also just like loves her. It's so sweet. And then he asks why she's being so gentle. And she slaps him. I guess because she's trying to like, I don't know, remain professional, but like also be caring.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like picking on her.
He's making it hard.
Yeah. Nurse Ha, and we love her for that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
One of my favorites.
But she's like, fuck you, dude, you just have a cold. But like in a loving way.
Yeah.
And she tells him to call her if he feels pain. And she like starts to storm out. And then he says, what if I just want to see you? And her response is, I will come before then. Like, oh, they're so cute together. She just keeps fighting it, but don't fight it, Nurse Ha. Just let the love in. Mm-hmm. So then we see Dae-young is quarantined in the shed previously occupied by Shijin when he was being detained. And he's quarantined because he may have caught the virus while he was giving that epic hug to Myungju. And Shijin stops by to talk to him from outside the door. They talk about Myungju, how she's being strong, and how she's actually being more of a doctor than a patient because she's still checking up on Manager Jin. And Dae-young says he's fine and tells Shijin to tell Myungju to not worry about him. Then Shijin passes Dae-young a walkie so he can talk to her, and he says it's payback for letting him visit Dr. Kang while he was locked up. So I love this little, like, serious bromance part, because with Dae-young and Shijin, you mostly see them being goofy with each other, but it's nice to know, like, they have each other's back when stuff.
They really care about each other.
Yeah, serious. So Myungju and Dae-young talk over the walkie, and he looks so nervous and scared, and she's trying to lighten the mood, like, kind of be the strong one in this case, and they basically just keep telling each other that they miss each other. And this part made me want to cry so much because we have that, like, I just call it the 90s song playing in the background. Yeah. And, like, they're both, I think, trying not to cry. And they both look really scared. And they miss each other. And, I just want them to be happy and healthy. It just is so frustrating.
I know. After, like, they finally got things cleared up with her dad and everything. And everything seems to be good. But no. Not yet.
No, I know.
We have another issue. Myungju ends up bringing up the whole virgin ghost story from the second time they were together when they were going to Young's ex's wedding. And how it would be unfairly ironic if she died because she would then be a virgin ghost. And Young basically tells her, like, no, I think you're an angel. And I think at this point they stop talking. And she says to herself, like, whether it's a ghost or an angel, they're both dead anyway.
Oh, I know.
It's so real dark.
So
real
morbid.
Dark. I know.
So sad.
Ooh.
But I like that he, like, brought back the you're an angel, because that's what she said that she was. It was
and
cute.
She, like, did the little wings.
Flaps.
Yeah. So on the other end of things, Moyan is coordinating treatment and preventative measures with Dr. Daniel. And Shijin gives a report to that commander who really just wants to get out of there as quickly as possible and move up in the rank. And that guy's being really fussy about Shijin not coming too close and not touching him or coming near him. He's being very, very precautious about that whole situation.
And he's frankly being kind of extra because he has, like, the hospital, but it looks like a really heavy-duty one.
Yeah.
Like, the hospital mask, that's to say. I stopped my sentence halfway through. But yeah, he's just, I don't know. I can't stand this guy.
No, I can't either.
He sucks.
He always has an issue with everything. He doesn't care about anyone but himself. Like, why are you in that job?
Right, totally.
So anyway, the commander is basically telling Shijin that if Myungju is still okay, that they need to transfer her to the American hospital. And Shijin is like, no, like, that's not safe.
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
She's designated in this area where treatment is being given, and we're dealing with it. And he ends up listing all these other reasons to keep her there. And the guy he doesn't want anyone to get sick. Because if they get sick, they have to stay longer. And he's telling Shijin, like, you better not get sick. Nobody better get sick. I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, so you'd rather risk, like, the Americans.
Yeah, hundreds of thousands of people potentially getting sick.
Yeah, like locals getting sick. Like, it's like, do you even understand diseases, dude? Like,
apparently not.
No, you're dumb.
Like, were they going to put her in a bubble and then put her in the plane?
Like, roll her?
Yeah, I don't know.
Dumb.
Or, like, fly her in a plane all by herself. Like, none of it makes sense when you think about it. I don't know. But anyway, we cut to the medical staff back in Korea, and they're watching the news together where it's just blowing up about this M3 virus in Urk and how there's currently 2 affected Koreans, 1 male and 1 female. So they all start frantically calling people, and we have Dr. Pyo trying to call Mo-yeon, and then we have another guy who's trying to call Dr. Song, and neither of them answer. And then we have Dr. Jang trying to call someone, and she gets through. And everyone, including myself, thinks that she just called Lee Chi-hoon and that he answered, and she's super excited. But no, it's actually just her mother-in-law. And she says in a very funny and sad way, like, did you see the news? They say it's an infectious disease this time.
This poor woman, like, oh my God. I feel so bad for her. But I was like, so I've said before, like, I've watched this series several times, some episodes more than others, but there are still certain instances and episodes that take me by surprise. And I was like, oh, she finally got through to Chi-hoon. It's like, nope.
It's just mama.
But at least, like, on the bright side, she is bonding with her mother-in-law.
Yeah, and her mother-in-law very much seems to care about her.
Yeah, definitely.
And getting her son home with his future wife and child.
Yeah, grandbaby.
Gosh.
Yes. So then we see the chairman, and he's lamenting the fact that the medical team was supposed to have been back already, but they keep having to deal with the issues over there. And then Chi-hoon's mom comes in, and she is taking no prisoners. She grabs the chairman's collar after yelling at him for not caring enough and tells him to personally go to Urk and get Chi-hoon back. And he's like, that's pretty unreasonable, which... Yes. But she's like, I don't give a fuck. Get him back. And then she tells him to not boss around her daughter-in-law after he asks her to help him. Because he's like, this is your mom. Like, get her off of me. And poor Dr. Jang responds, I feel like a widow in my heart now. Which, fuck. This, again.
Very, very, very sad girl.
Yeah. So then Chi-hoon's mom lets go. And she's like, do you hear that? Basically, like, threatening to not renew the lease because look at all of this, like, mess that the hospital has created in her family life. And she also tells the chairman that she won't be his mom's friend anymore. And, like, that was the straw that broke the camel's back with him, I guess, because then he runs up to her and he says he'll do everything he can to get Chi-hoon back. Like, I love that. She's, like, trying to play hardball, like, I'm not going to renew the lease, like, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, and I'm not going to be your mom's friend. And that was what really made him, like, go and run off after her.
Yeah.
So funny.
That woman, all the women in the show, I feel like, are really badass. And just, they fucking tell you like it is, and they're going to go after you if you're doing something wrong or something that they don't like.
Yeah.
I also noted in the subtitles that he called her aunt multiple times. But you had mentioned that that's similar to one of our say whats that I can't think of right now. Oppa and
Ajashi.
That's the one I was thinking of. Yeah. So not necessarily his true real aunt.
Yes.
But just like talking to an older woman.
Yes. So that's why it's confusing, because when they use these words like Ajashi, which means uncle, and I think Ajima, which is aunt.
Okay.
And Oppa, which again means like big brother. But Oppa can mean like boyfriend or like friend or whatever. Like they can mean so many multiple meanings. And so it can get confusing. But yeah, she could be his blood aunt, but I took it to mean like, you know how like if your mom's best friend, like, you kind of grow up knowing
Yeah.
her, you would still call her, like, oh, my Aunt Kathy or whatever.
Yeah, I also thought, like, he seems really young to be, like, a chairman or something. But maybe he's not young and he just looks young because he's got good genes like everybody else in Korea.
Yeah.
Like, nobody looks old.
Yeah.
So maybe he is a lot older and he just doesn't look it.
There are so many possibilities because in the Korean drama, I guess, world, there are a ton of, like, I'm 27 years old and I'm a CEO. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It could be anything.
What world is this?
I know.
And why am I not there?
Yeah.
Gosh. Anyway, meanwhile, Dr. Song texts Dr. Pyo, and she starts messaging him a bunch of pictures of medical journals that he had requested. And we don't really know what they are exactly, but he seems really excited to get these. And he's just, like, writing on Post-its left and right, sticking them all over his little, like, plastic bubble area. Like,
I love Post-its.
Yeah, it's like, really fast-paced. He's, like, looking at all these pictures. It's a great little, like, montage of him. But then Kim Ki-bum and Kang Mi-jae. That's what I thought it was. I'm reading these initials here. I'm like, KMJ, what is that?
I know. I got really tired of typing, like, Kang Mi-jae.
I know.
Like, Moyeon, I don't know. Like,
yeah, it's a lot of names.
Yeah,
but Kim Ki-bum and Kang Min-jae come in, and they come to take his food tray. And they're super impressed because he's just working so hard, even though he's sick. And Kim Ki-bum is just like, wow, doctors work even when they're sick? And Dr. Song is like, yeah, so do soldiers. And he's like, oh yeah, shit. It's a really funny moment.
He's so funny.
I love Kim Ki-bum. He's really
too.
grown since that first episode.
Yes,
I love him so
arc.
much.
And I was also wondering, so, like, basically, Kang Min-jae has been put to work.
Yeah, like,
he's still in his little hospital, like, get up.
Yeah, I don't know if he's well enough, but he just doesn't want to go home, wherever home is for him. And he's just like, I guess I'll hang out with you guys. I don't know.
Yeah, I was wondering if he, like, volunteered to, like, help Kim Ki-bum, because he's like, I'm not doing anything otherwise.
Maybe he and Kim Ki-bum became friends, and
let's go with that.
Yeah, let's go hang out.
Let's write some
fanfic. Because they're both really cute together. They're funny. So I can totally see the two of them becoming friends. They look about the same age, too. So maybe they just, like, bonded with Kim Ki-bum bringing him food trays.
Maybe. I want to see a spin-off of Nurse Choi,
yes.
Kim Ki-bum, and Kang Min-jae just, like, all hanging out together.
Yes, and Lee Chi-hoon every so often coming into the picture.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. Season 2 of Descendants. Okay, so anyway, they move to Myungju, and they take her tray away, and they ask her about Richard. What's his?
Jin Young-soo.
Jin Young-soo. And she says that he's regained consciousness, but his breathing is still irregular, and the next few days for him are going to be pretty critical. And Kim Ki-bum gossips to Kang Min-jae about the diamonds, and they were basically just talking about, like, I heard it was, like, a fistful of diamonds. How much does that come out to? And Myungju is like, I think the diamonds are probably worth 2 billion won, which is, like,
$2 million.
$2 million, which is a ton of money.
And then
I'd be happy with that.
I love how Kang Min-jae is like, what the fuck? Like, he looks like he wished he could have stolen the diamonds earlier. But
he saw them. He saw something shady going on.
But he's like, no, I'm just gonna nap. Which, again, would be me. I see myself most in Kang Min-jae.
I'm just gonna hide here on the sofa. He didn't see me. I'm not gonna get in trouble. I'm just gonna keep sleeping.
So then we cut to Moyeon sitting outside waiting for Shijin, and he comes up to her, and they look so happy, and I love it. And they talk about the blood results and how his meeting went, etc. Kind of a boring conversation, but then he asks her what her blood type is. So this brings us to our Say What?
Say what?
Say what?
So Koreans and other Asian countries, I believe mostly like Japan, but just in Asia in general, they believe that a person's blood type is predictive of their personality, temperament, and compatibility with others, similar to a horoscope. So again, I feel like the way I just said it, it made it seem like everyone believes this, but I think it's It's more just like for funsies.
Gotcha.
I mean, maybe some people take it really seriously, but
yeah.
So I pulled up a little chart describing the different character traits of the blood types. So I'm just going to run through them really quickly.
Okay.
So type O is social, outgoing, creative, popular, confident, but they don't always finish what they start and sometimes are not dependable, like to be the center of attention. And it is said that they are most compatible with another O type or AB. Type A, artistic, creative, trustworthy, stays calm, good at avoiding confrontation, polite, responsible. Negative traits, they're picky, sensitive, shy, and sometimes withdrawn or stubborn. A is most compatible with A and AB. It kind of looks like all of them are compatible with AB, so...
All right.
Okay. Type B, mentally tough, individualist, finish what they start, focused, but they are not cooperative, like to follow their own rules, and pay attention to thoughts more than feelings, can seem cold. Type B is compatible with B and AB. Type AB, the one everyone is compatible with.
They're compatible with no one.
So this is like, okay, this is so like astrology where it's like, this could be anybody. So it says outgoing, but also sometimes shy, confident, but also sometimes timid. And then it says negative traits, split personality, sometimes shy and sometimes outgoing, can't handle too much responsibility, unpredictable. And AB is compatible with all of them.
Oh.
So, yeah. I think you said we should, like, take a little test.
Yeah.
See if we can find one online.
Yeah, I wanted us to do, like, a blood type personality
like
test.
BuzzFeed?
Yeah, for, like during one of our mukbangs or something. I actually had blood work done a couple months ago, and I was like, I'll just call my doctor and ask them what my blood type is. And I called them, and they're like, we don't have that on the paper. I was like, how do you not have the type on there when you, like, fucking tested, like, literally everything?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I guess. But apparently there's, like, websites you could go to purchase a little thing where you, like...
Should we do it?
I kind of want to. I don't know what my blood type is.
I don't know either, and I feel like I should know.
I know. People always, like, spout off about their blood type, like... just common knowledge that you know what your blood type is, and I don't.
I don't either.
I even asked my mom, like, do you know what my blood type is? She's like, no, I don't even know what mine is. Okay. Apparently, like, if your parents know what theirs are, you can kind of at least narrow it down to what yours is. But my parents don't fucking know.
I think my mom's is O. Because she's always like, yeah, I donate blood because babies... Like, I guess babies can only take type O. I don't know.
Or is O the universal one? I don't remember.
Maybe. Oh, because there's also, like, O negative, O whatever. I don't know.
There's one that's, like, universal and then one that only it can give to others.
Yeah,
it's fucking
so confusing.
Blood's weird.
We're no doctors.
Yeah, I don't know why we're spouting off about things we don't know in a say what. If we're talking about it, we should know what we're talking about. Okay.
Anyway.
Back at it.
So, Shijin asks Moyeon, what's your blood type? And again, like I said 20 minutes ago, it's kind of like asking what your sign is. And so she kind of comes back being all cutesy, and she tells him that her blood type is your ideal type. And they keep kind of flirting, and then she, like, lists different types of types. Like, I'm, like, doll type, cute type, like, whatever. It's really cute.
Yeah, I like that scene a lot. There's a really nice interaction between the two of them. They're both getting along, and there's not, like, any underlying issues between the two of them. They're both really happy, and they're healthy, and I think they're just, like, really living in this moment of, like, we kind of dodged a bullet there. Like,
yeah.
Could have easily been Moyeon instead of Myungju, you know?
Totally.
And so I think they're just both really happy with where things are at for themselves right now. Obviously sad about their friends, but
yeah,
in their situation.
It just, like, gives you more hope for the future for them because it's like, you guys are so good just hanging out. Like, come on, y'all. Get it together. So after her little flirt sesh with Shijin, Moyeon goes to the dining hall to give the Phantom Village orphans their final checkups before they get transferred off the base. And then there's a blackout. And Myungju announces over the walkie that the Metacube has also lost power. And then everyone's like, uh-oh, because Moyeon realizes that Jin Young-soo's respirator is probably not working, And then we see him convulsing in his bed. Super hard to watch. It looks like he's possessed.
Yeah.
Like he's turning into a zombie right before our eyes. Like he's foaming at the mouth. And again, I don't know why. Is that a symptom of the virus? Is it just for TV? Is it because he can't breathe? I don't know. And so Kim Ki-bum and Kang Min-jae are in the room with him. And they're like super scared. They're freaking out. And they're just like, they fall down and then they just start holding each other. And I think you said like this, that would be you and me. Yeah. Like just crying. Like I just see myself.
I don't know what to do here.
Sobbing like,
this fucking monster.
Yeah, so intense. And then Lee Chi-hoon runs in and he like quickly runs and jumps on top of Jin Young-soo. And he's like holding him down. Like his hands are like on his shoulders trying to like stop him from convulsing. And he tells Myung-ju that he needs a sedative. So then Snoopy like peeks his head and is like, what's going on? But Lee Chi-hoon tells him to stay back and to focus on getting the power back on. So Lee Chi-hoon is struggling and he's like got him kind of pinned down, and Myung-ju brings the sedative, but like right before she's about to inject it, Jin Young-soo bites Lee Chi-hoon super hard, and I feel like they had like a post-production crunch sound in there, right? Kind of like he really sunk his teeth in. Yeah. And he starts bleeding, and it's like, again, like, what is going on here?
Yeah, at that moment, Andrew was like, what? I was like, I don't fucking know. And at that point, I was screaming, like, Lee Chi-hoon, no!
Your baby!
Why did you go in there?
Why did you go to Urk? Why?
Oh my God.
So, yeah, everyone's freaking out. Viewers are freaking out. Kim Ki-bum and Kang Min-jae are, like, horrified. They're like, no! Kind of
they're
like
us.
Yes. But Lee Chi-hoon is really persistent, and he starts trying to treat Jin Young-soo, and Mo-yeon comes in, and she relieves Myung-ju, who again is like sick with the fucking virus. But then Myung-ju tells Mo-yeon that Lee Chi-hoon has been bitten. Yeah. So intense.
Yeah, it's really crazy.
Yeah.
The lights come back on, and Mo-yeon starts treating Lee Chi-hoon now, and she tells him that he may have contracted the disease, but he also saved the patient's life. And Kim Ki-bum and Kang Min-jae come in to say that they finished cleaning up, and Kang Min-jae kind of makes eye contact with Lee Chi-hoon, and he asks if he's going to be sick now. And Mo-yeon's like, well, hopefully not, but he'll have to be quarantined and get him tested and everything, whatever. And Kang Min-jae looks a little sad at that fact, kind of just like, oh, fuck. Like,
yeah, that's
he tried.
Yeah.
And then camera shoots to Kim Ki-bum, who gives a thumbs up, and he's like, that was really cool.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
I know, I love him.
Kang Min-jae tells him he was a bit like a doctor earlier, and then kind of walks away. And at that point, Lee Chi-hoon just starts crying.
This guy.
Like,
sobbing.
So ugly.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, we all think it's because Kang Min-jae said, you're a bit like a doctor earlier. And that apparently, like, made him feel really good and really relieved. But Mo-yeon and Myung-ju have no idea about this whole backstory.
Yeah, they have, like, no context.
So they don't know why he's sobbing like that. I mean, it could just be because he was bitten and he could possibly die. But they're, like, happy tears. And so they're both just like, what in the world? And Lee Chi-hoon says he's crying because he feels like he feels better now, and he feels like he can finally go back to Korea. And then we see him quarantined, and he finally calls Dr. Jang after all this time, which to me feels like 5 years, but it's only been like a month or something. Is that what it's been?
Yeah, and I think it's been even less time for him, like, not talking to her.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, maybe a few weeks of him not talking to her.
It feels like fucking eternity.
I know. We've been at ARC for so long.
Yeah, they end up having a funny little conversation, but he's just very happy and excited, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
Because he's like, I can finally go home now. And I'm like, bitch, no you can't. Like, you're in quarantine. You have to get your blood drawn and make sure you're not going to fucking turn into an M3 virus zombie.
Yeah.
Like Richard. And it's so bizarre. Like, that's what it took for him to feel better.
I know. This is like I guess a problem I have with this show. It's like they introduce a conflict, and then a character's like, no, it's okay. And so everyone's like, okay, cool. But yeah, I can only imagine being like, even Myungju, who knows Lee Chi-hoon even less than Mo-yeon, and just to see him like be pretty much okay. Like, he looks kind of nervous or like, you know, kind of shaken up after being bitten. But then for Kang Min-jae to just say that like one thing, and then he like, it's not like tears like trickle down. Like, he's ugly crying. And I said his Adam's apple moves up and down a lot. Like, it's a lot. But yeah, I mean, good for him, I guess. He's feeling better. He should still probably see a therapist once he gets back to Korea.
Get some help, man.
Yeah. But I love him, so I'm happy he's feeling better.
Yeah. But anyway, it's the next day, and Dr. Daniel takes the kids away, all the little orphans, and I forgot where he's supposed to take them, but he's taking them away somewhere. Yeah. Nurse Choi announces that everyone's blood results came back negative, so Sada Young can now be released, and at this point, I noted that I was a little bit nervous because Dr. Daniel is taking the kids by himself. And he's supposed to be, like, getting medicine and stuff to bring back. And I'm just like...
Protect Dr. Daniel.
Yeah, like, shouldn't somebody be with him? Like, y'all are at a whole fucking base with all of these soldiers. Like, can't two of them go with him?
Yeah.
I know it's not necessarily their job, but, like, you're dealing with all these kids that were part of this, like... gang and
human trafficking
situation, and like, you don't think they're gonna want those kids back? I don't know. It's just really weird. But anyway, we let that go. He goes on his own. Everyone says bye, whatever. And then we see Sada Young and Shijin watching over Myungju, and they talk about how she seems to be doing okay. And Shijin tells him that in rare cases, some people are only carriers and experience no symptoms. And Sada Young is basically like, I hope that's the case, because she's a rare woman.
Aw.
Yeah, he's
so cute.
Very sweet. Then Shijin tries to brag to Sada Young about how he basically saved the village from the virus, and he did all of this stuff, and like, wow, look at me, I'm super awesome. Which is really cool. It's really great of him. Yeah. But Sada Young doesn't even really, like, hear what he's saying, because he's too busy staring at Myungju and just, like...
He only has eyes for her.
Yeah, very sweet.
So then the boys get called away to the cafeteria for an emergency, and then Myungju kind of rolls over and looks at her phone, because she was, I guess, sleeping while Sada Young was watching her. So yeah, she rolls over, looks at her phone, and she keeps trying to focus her eyes, but everything is still blurry. And I hate seeing stuff like that on TV, because I have such bad vision too that I'm like, wait, like, I keep trying to blink hard.
You're trying to like focus your eyes.
And Myungju's trying to blink hard, but yeah, so she can't focus. Everything is blurry, and she's starting to look scared. So it's not a good sign. Then the boys run over to the cafeteria, and they see August and his henchmen, who are there to pick up Fatima / see Jin Young-soo / get their diamonds back. And it's a super tense situation, because there are a bunch of locals there too, I guess, getting their blood tested. And anyway, Shijin is like, get out of here. And the locals' faces in the background are so funny. Did you notice
Yes,
them?
I did.
They're just kind of like, huh? What? Who? Yeah, it's almost like they were just people that they found on the street and didn't tell them what
that this was a film.
Yeah. So they were just like, huh? Like, it's really funny. Then there's a really intense moment when August, like, reaches in his jacket pocket, and all of the Alpha team is there, and they pull their guns and, like, point them at August and his gang. But August just pulls out medicine, and he tells Mo-yeon to help their friend, meaning Richard, because he has a lot to say to him. So it's really intense, and I hate when villains do this. Like, I guess it's a love-hate, because, like, when the villains are there to, like, not actually fuck stuff up, but just, like...
kind of scary.
Yeah, just, like, to put everyone, like, on edge. Which is, yeah, I hate August.
Yeah,
He's a good villain, but yeah, he sucks. So then Nurse Ha goes up to Mo-yeon and asks if that was the guy who tried to hurt Fatima, and Mo-yeon says yes, and that she got the other blood test results, and she should go be with Dr. Song. So then Nurse Ha goes to Dr. Song, and he's, like, really chipper, and he tells her he knows that he just had the common cold because he can still see how beautiful she is, which is super sweet. But then she gives him a hard time, calling him an elementary school kid, saying, yeah, you just had a cold, like, you're basically being dramatic, like, you dumb guy. And then she runs up to him and gives him a really big hug, saying she was really worried. And then, like, I guess she's just overcome with emotion, just, like, so relieved that he's fine. And then she's like, oh, fuck. Like, after she realized what she's done. Yeah, she
kind of freezes mid-hug. And then slowly, like, backs away. Like, I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, like, trying to be all cool, as Nurse Ha usually is. And then Dr. Song does that classic K-drama wrist grab, pulls her in and gives her a hug back, and they are so cute. I love them so much. And they flirt a little bit more, and then Dr. Song hands her a note. And she slowly opens it, and it's the name of a drug Dr. Song thinks will help cure the M3 virus. And Nurse Ha is, like, pretty visibly disappointed because I think before that, Dr. Song was like, I have something that I think will please you or something like that. Yeah. Like, he kind of, like, talks up the note, and she's like, oh. And then it's just, yeah, the name of a drug, which is pretty funny. I think she was expecting, like, a little sexy love note.
A will you date me?
Yeah.
Marry me note. Yeah, I love the two of them. I want them to date, like, yesterday.
Yeah.
A year ago, please. You're perfect. The scene then cuts to Dr. Song, Mo-yeon, and Nurse Ha, and they're going over statistics of using the drug, and Mo-yeon is impressed, so they decide to try it, but they didn't bring that particular drug back from Korea. And Nurse Ha is kind of just like, yeah, I already talked to Dr. Daniel, and it's going to come with the other stuff. And she just walks away real sad and doesn't say bye or anything. She just says, like, yeah, they're bringing it. And
I figured it out.
Yeah. And Mo-yeon gets after Dr. Song, and she's like, did y'all fight again? And he's like, it's more of a push-or-pull thing. And he looks really pleased with himself. Like, finally, I got her where I want her.
Yeah, like, I finally have the upper hand.
Yeah, for once. Then we see Myung-ju, and she's starting to look really, really bad now. Her face is very, very pale. Her lips are like a purplish, bluish color. Like, she doesn't look well at all.
No.
She calls her dad, and she tells him she's sick. And they talk about how she's not going to lose the fight. And before I go into, like, the two favors that she asked, I noted that it was, like, really weird how he didn't call her. Because she asks him, like, why didn't you call me?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, from a professional standpoint, there's nothing I could have ordered to help you. And then from the standpoint of a parent, there's nothing I could do to make you feel better. Just like, yeah, like, that might be true, but...
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want to talk to your daughter?
Yeah, because, like, even though you can't do anything to make it better, you could still comfort her. Like, even if she's dying, you can still make it, like, again,
less
comfortable.
Scary.
Yeah, and less scary. And I know, like, Myung-ju has had some, like, harsh words with her dad in the past, but at the end of the day, like, he's still her dad, and they seemed pretty close.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I also thought it was kind of weird.
Yeah, it's an interesting interaction between the two of them. And I feel like, yeah, Myung-ju is very tough, and she definitely puts on this front, but I mean, like, when you don't know if you're going to live or die, like, you want those people around that you love and care about. So it's just really weird. Like, his reasoning for not calling her was kind of just like, oh, okay, dude.
Yeah.
It's kind of fucked up, but whatever. So she asks for two favors. And the first one is to forgive her for threatening to leave her dad. She basically told him that he would lose the professional Myung-ju, whatever she is in the army, I can't think of it. And then also lose Myung-ju, his daughter. Very, very harsh words. And then the second favor she asks is for Sa-young to not have to leave the military, because apparently she heard everything the day that they had that talk, but she just pretended to not know because she loved the idea of being with him, and she's very excited about him, about that opportunity, but she's really worried about him and what's going to happen if he's not in the military anymore.
Yeah, this is another moment where I was like, wait, what?
She knew?
Yeah, because I knew she finds out before like Daeyoung actually tells her, but I couldn't remember when
or how.
And I was like, oh fuck, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that at all.
She did a really good job at playing it off.
When they were in the car, she played that off very, very well. So we then cut to Dr. Daniel, and he's driving the truck full of medicine. So he already dropped off the kids, and suddenly he has to stop because there's a bunch of men holding guns at him. Of course.
Yes.
Like I was worried about it. Yeah. I was worried about it with Sao Young and Myungju that one time, and nothing happened. I was very relieved. And I was hoping, like, maybe I'm just overthinking things. They're going to be okay. He's going to be fine. But no, he's got guns all over him. I'm just like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, and that's kind of like Dr. Daniel's face looked like. Like, he looked really scared, but also like, what the fuck? Like, come on. Anyway,
why am I here?
Yeah. So that's just like a really quick little blip. And then we cut back to Myungju again. And at this point, like, she's being carried into an ice bath because I think one of the doctors explains that her body is having an immune overreaction. So since she's so healthy, like, her immune system is so good that it's trying to, like, fight off her own body to get rid of the virus. And so they need to cool her body down before organ failure starts. Her temp is almost 106 Fahrenheit. And it's really scary to see them put her in an ice bath. And Daeyoung is just watching, like, so helplessly because basically her body's almost lifeless at this point. And they kind of just, like, flop her into this. And
they're putting ice on top of her.
Yeah, it's really scary looking. But Mo-young tells them that they have to keep treating Myungju's symptoms as they pop up, but they really, really need the medicine that Dr. Song recommended within the hour. Then, of course, Mo-young gets a call from Dr. Daniel, who tells her that the truck has been taken from him. So then Shijin gets a call from August, and he tells him that they'll get the meds back if he gets the diamonds. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, of course he would basically hold people hostage, like, without a cure, just for diamonds. And so they make the trade. But then I guess, like, Shijin and Daeyoung go to, like, make the trade with August's henchmen.
And that risk the Alpha team is, like, positioned accordingly. Yeah,
so then they make the trade, and then Daeyoung starts beating up the UN guy since August isn't there. And again, he's
mad.
Yeah. Daeyoung is really scary when he's mad. He's like beautiful to watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, cut back to the hospital, or Medicube, whatever, and Mo-yeon is trying to comfort Myungju in the ice bath, but again, it's not looking great. And then another one of the medical team comes in looking for Mo-yeon, and at this point she thinks that the medicine is there, but she runs out to find Fatima has been arrested for dealing stolen drugs in the black market. And that fucking dick Tommy confessed, and he tells the cops that Mo-yeon was at the scene too.
I hate how he just, like, steps out of the car and he's, like, handcuffed, and he does, like, a little face, like, who's them?
Yeah.
What a fuck, dude, you suck.
I know. I call him a fuck boy, even though I wasn't sure what that meant.
Yeah, we did a little research on that one, and it's just, like, an asshole dude who, like, fucks over his girlfriend. And, like, Tommy does fucked up things. He would totally be a fuckboy.
Yeah, because, like, based on the previous conversation, I think that him and Fatima had, like, when Mo-yeon almost ran them over, he made it, like, Fatima was like, yeah, let's run away together. So, like, obviously he was, like, leading her on.
He just wanted the drugs and most likely to rape her.
Yeah, like, what a terrible dude.
Yeah.
So sad.
So I noted that Mo-yeon should have just run over stupid Tommy and his crew when she had the chance, because he's not a good human. None of those guys were good humans.
No.
And, like, just, there's so many instances in this show, like, where if someone wasn't around, if they died somehow, things would just be so much better.
Yes.
I'm just like...
Or just, like, incapacitated.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know, like, when August was going to get the diamonds out of Richard, like... then he would have the M3 virus, and not Myungju.
Yes.
Blood would have splattered in his eyeball. But no, they saved him, and then they fucked up Myungju, and just, it's all this crazy stuff that ends up happening.
It's a butterfly effect.
Yeah, saving somebody, and then it ruining somebody else. It's, you're seeing that a lot in this show. It's pretty crazy. But people are trying to help and do nice things, like Yihua and Kim Ki-bum. They're out talking about how fucked up the world of pharmaceuticals is and how basically if it doesn't sell, it doesn't get made. But Yihua is trying to brew up like an Eastern medicine tea to hopefully help with Myungju's fever, which is very sweet, very kind of her. And then the medicine gets there. Dr. Daniel is very exhausted looking, but I know he's been through a lot. But the drugs get administered, and Young is there to hold Myungju's hand, and her fever slowly starts to go down, which is good.
Yes,
everything happened at just the right moment to save her life, it seems. And then it looks like it's the next day, and all this drama has already happened. Shijin's walking around kind of aimlessly looking for Mo-yeon. He sees Nurse Choi, asks her where she's at, and she's like, oh, the police came to take Fatima, so she went to the police station with them. And Shijin's like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Are you
He's
sure
like
it was
freaking
the police?
out.
Like, what? And he starts racing away. He's in his car, and Andrew and I noted that anytime they're in their cars and it does like this drone shot of like far away of the car, like driving in these hilly mountainy area, it just looks like a car commercial.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed that, but it's just like a Jeep commercial, like in this weird Urk terrain. But anyway, so he's driving super fast in this car, showing off for a new car commercial. And suddenly he almost hits Fatima because she's standing in the middle of the road, handcuffed, and her mouth is taped shut. And at this point, I thought, like, what the fuck? Is that, like, a mirage?
Yeah, it looks like a ghost.
Like, it didn't look real, and the car, like, kind of swerves and almost hits her, but barely misses. He pulls over. He runs over to help her. And then one of August's guys shoots her in the knee or somewhere in the leg, which is just like, what? Like,
so
she almost got hit with the car. Like, she's standing in the road. She's handcuffed. She's got her mouth shut. Did they mean to hit him and have terrible aim? I don't know.
Yeah.
But they shoot her. And for me, it played twice because it played a commercial. And so, like, it played it and then it stopped for like a 10-second commercial and then played that scene again and continued. And both times I got grossed out because, like, when the shot happens on her leg, all you hear is like this weird squishy, like a gross, like gooey sort of sound. I don't know what it hit on her leg and where that sound came from, but it was so ugly.
Yeah, and like, I feel, I mean, I've never been around guns really or been shot, but I hear like getting shot in the knee is really painful. And so I'm like, this poor girl, like,
she can't catch a break.
No, she can't. So then the henchmen come out, and Mo-yeon is also bound, and August comes, and he's like a really big fucking creep to Fatima, because remember, people, she's only like 15 years old. And like, August is kind of getting this like date rapey vibes to her. And so Shijin starts trying to mouth off to August about Fatima, like, don't talk to her, don't touch her kind of a thing. And then August is like, I'll kill everyone. Like, don't fuck with me. And at this point, you believe him because he's unhinged. So then Shijin, like, tries to calm down and ask him what he wants. And August is going to make the big weapons sale to North Urk later that night. And just a reminder, this is why the Korean government couldn't, like,
intervene,
because they had a deal with the CIA and blah, blah, blah. So August is making this big sale later that night, and he's going to hold Mo-yeon hostage unless Shijin can provide him with an escape route at 2 a.m. Because after he makes the trade, the U.S. government is probably going to try to kill him because he sucks. They're basically just using him to facilitate, like, politics stuff. So, if he doesn't comply, August basically threatens to turn Mo-yeon into a sex slave, which, what fuck?
Damn.
Like, that's so scary.
It's like worse than just getting killed.
I know, seriously.
God.
So then he kind of taunts Shijin, asking him to save him like he did last time, which, that's just like salt in the wound. Like, so unnecessary. So then Shijin starts speaking in Korean again, and he tells him that he will kill him with his own hands. Like, damn. That's also really scary. And then August takes Mo-yeon, and Shijin is left with a bleeding Fatima. Again. So, this is so fucked up. It's really intense. So then August has another super creepy line to Moyeon saying that he looks forward to spending his last night in Urk with her, which, gross. So then Shijin starts talking to her through the walkie-talkie, and he tells her he'll find her and save her, to not be too scared or worried.
And I noted here, hello, Liam Neeson.
I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
Yes.
Coming to the rescue.
August answers saying, like, he takes the walkie from Moyeon, and he answers that he looks forward to seeing him too. And then the I Love You song is playing, and August throws the walkie-talkie out of the car window, and they have, like, a little caravan of cars. And so you just see basically, like, every tire running over this poor walkie-talkie until it's, like,
Oh my God.
non-existent anymore. It's, like, super dramatic. And then, like, you just see Moyeon's, like, big watery eyes.
She's so good at doing that.
Yes. So then we're back with Shijin, and he's telling the shitty commander guy the situation, and the commander's, like, really pissed because, again, the Koreans have, like, what's the word? A truce? Not a truce, but, like...
sort of like an understanding or like a deal with each other.
Yeah, so they were supposed to leave August alone, even though they have beef with him, because the U.S. needs him to facilitate that deal. Mm-hmm. And it's, like, all a political mess, and there's the guy from the Blue House on the phone, and he's like, listen, like, I get it, but we need to wait it out, because the U.S. is important to us, and we can't fuck this up for them. And Shijin is like, nope, and he bails, even though they're all screaming at him, like, he's, like, super focused in this moment. And so he's trying to drive off the base, and, like, the guys are, like, closing the gate, and he's like, I'm gonna run through this. I've wrecked a few cars in my time here. But then right before he's about to do that, a guy runs up to him, and he has a phone, and it's Myungju's dad on the other line. And so he basically calls to tell him that he has 3 hours. And for that time, he knows nothing of Shijin. He doesn't know who he is, where he is. He's not a member of the Alpha Team. He's not a member of the Republic of Korean Army. He'll be completely off the grid. And then he hangs up. So then Shijin's like, okay. And so he calls Daeyoung, and he starts asking how Myungju is doing. And at this point, she's still unconscious, but her fever is going down. And Shijin tells him that he'll need to go out for a bit. But he probably won't be able to see Daeyoung before he leaves. And then Myungju starts to stir, and then Daeyoung, like, hangs up, basically. So then we see Shijin getting ready, and he's putting on his black clothes and buying guns at the Coyote Ugly bar. Mm-hmm. And this is, like, such an intense, like, all of this basically happened within the span of, like, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It seems like it's just, like, boom, boom, boom. Like, it's really
That's
intense.
what I was talking about with this episode, having so much going on, so many different stories, and jumping around to all these different things that are happening. It's pretty crazy. We end up cutting back to Moyeon with August, and they're now in whatever secluded area August and his people are at. He rips the tape off her mouth, and she starts mouthing off to him in Korean. So he hits her with the back of his gun and is like, in English. And at this point, I turned to Andrew when I was watching, and I was like, what if August is like, in English, por favor? It's so stupid. Because, I mean, we're here in fucking South Texas, where majority of the people speak Spanish. You have a lot of Spanish-speaking families, and a lot of people who are just like,
racist.
English, please. And so it's just really stupid, but he just doesn't even know what language these people are speaking. He doesn't know what country he's in, what people he's surrounded by. No idea. He's just thinking about those diamonds. But anyway, he does not say that. He just says in English. He gets really mad. And then he starts, like, putting doubt into her head about Shijin, and he's basically saying, like, you know, you should really break up with him. Like, that's my advice. Like, one day he's gonna leave and he's never gonna come back, and he's got a lot of secrets. You don't know him.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
I feel like he's kind of giving off ex-girlfriend vibes because he says, like, you know, he's really handsome and he's really charming.
He's a really good kisser.
He's really cool. But then one day he just won't come back. And you're like, okay, dude, like, you need to chill.
Yeah.
Which, again, like, I mean, if August wasn't such a dick, like, I wouldn't mind seeing them together. They were cute. But it's, I don't know, he just kind of gives off that weird vibe, right?
Yeah.
Like, I've been there. I know.
Like, I don't know if he's just trying to talk to her that way to really get into her head and try to do it from, like, a woman's point of view. But, yeah, his conversation with her is weird. Like, why do you even need to, like, try to get her to leave him? Like, more than likely, your idea is to just get this escape route and kill her anyway.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the type of asshole you are. So in that case, like, she doesn't need to leave him. Because you're going to probably kill her, like, if you get that opportunity. But anyway, so he's being really weird. And then we have Sao Young, who's trying to now contact Shijin. But Snoopy comes in and tells him, tells Dae-young that Mo-yeon never came back from the police station. And Shijin left the base. And Sao Young is like, oh, fuck. Something bad is going to happen. And the camera then pans to Shijin's bed. And you see his military uniform and his dog tags. And you know shit's real when they leave the dog tags behind. Then it cuts to Shijin driving another car commercial. And he's on the phone with the main era bodyguard from way back when, the one who's kind of a dick before. And he says he needs to use the last card and he needs a chopper. He has a date again. And then it's the end of the episode.
Bam. What a great line to end on.
Yeah, and he looks really cool, too. He does. On the phone.
Yeah.
He's on a mission.
Totally.
Man on a mission.
Okay, so fashion moment.
Yes, God!
Speaking of Shijin's all black outfit, we both just said, like, we really like it. But I kind of feel like it's teetering on the edge of being douchey. But he pulls it off really well. Like, if August was wearing that, he would look like another one of those, like, douchey express dudes. I don't know what it is about him, but both of us like all black looks, so.
And she's just, like, tiny and cute. I don't know. He wears it well.
Yeah. Also, again, I just love Nurse Choi's style always, but she has a really cute skirt on when she tells Shijin that Mo-yeon never came back from the police station. And I said that Mo-yeon has a lot of cute cardigans and jackets in this ep.
Yes, and I also noted that Mo-yeon is wearing actual jeans in one scene, and I really liked that. It was nice. Nice seeing her in something other than, like, a puffy short or a skirt or a dress of some sort. It was nice to see, like, nice fitted jeans.
Yeah.
And I also noted to Andrea, like, oh my god, she's wearing sensible shoes.
For once.
Yeah, because we've been seeing her in, like, heels that just are not good for that terrain, or shoes, but, like, chunky platform shoes.
They're, like, fashion.
Yeah, they're super cute, but not for that area. And so I was wondering, like, maybe the package that her friend sent her from Korea was some new shoes.
Maybe.
She was like, hey, it's pretty cool here. It's okay, I guess. But, like, I didn't bring the right shoes.
But, like, I kind of fucked up.
Yeah. I have no good shoes. I didn't realize what the terrain was. So she sent her some. That's my backstory.
Yes.
Again, my fanfic on this situation.
All right. So, winding down, I guess we can get to our I love you moment.
Yes.
I love you.
I love you.
I will always love you.
I love you.
What is your I love you moment for the episode?
Mine will be the hug between Nurse Hall and Dr. Song. When she tells him, like, I was worried about you, and she gives him that big hug. Because I really just want the two of them together. We basically have Sao Young and Myung-ju together now. So I'm like, come on.
Come on, guys.
Come on. Y'all can do it.
That was definitely my number one pick, but I guess honorable mention, I just love seeing Mo-yeon and Shijin getting to flirt with each other. Like, there wasn't really one moment between them in this episode that, like, gave me chills. Like, oh my god!
Yeah.
But it's just, like, so nice to see them being, like, normal with each other.
And they also weren't mean to each other.
Yes.
They didn't end up starting to fight later on or fight before. It was just like a really good episode between the two of them.
It was, until she got kidnapped.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a bummer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so again, we left on another cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm.
What are you looking forward to next episode?
Fucking Shijin saving the day.
Yeah.
Being badass and seeing if Lee Chi-hoon has a disease. If he's gonna actually go home.
I know. Poor Dr. Jang.
God.
Yeah, I'm like really excited to see how the whole like August thing gets wrapped up. Because again, like I've seen it, but I haven't seen it in a while, and I'm just like, I know, like it gets
what
resolved,
happens, but what
how do
happened?
we get here? Yeah, so I'm like really excited because I do like the action-y parts of the show. Like they do it really well. All right, so I guess that'll bring us to the end.
Yes.
If you would be so kind, please subscribe to our show wherever you get your podcasts and give us a 5-star rating. That would help us so much, and it would be really awesome. You can also follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram is popping as of late.
Yeah, it's doing pretty good. We've been posting more fun stuff.
Yeah. And also, if we mention something in the app visually, we usually post it on our Instagram.
Yeah.
So if you're ever curious as to what the hell we're talking about, check out there. You can also, so we are OK Drama Podcast there. Also, we're OK Drama Podcast on Facebook, and we are OK Drama Pod on Twitter. And what else?
You can email us any questions about the show or things that you liked about the episode or didn't like, or corrections. We love getting corrections.
Yes.
And also if you have any questions for like future mukbang episodes, we would like questions from you guys
About anything.
about K-dramas or K-beauty. Those would mostly be for Kaitlin. She knows more about it. You can ask me questions about like cats and David Bowie or something. But yeah, so we want to do more of those. So if you have fun questions to ask us, send them through there. Yeah, and that's okdramapodcast@gmail.com.
Yes. Or you can send them anywhere, really.
Yeah.
We comb through all of those.
Yeah.
So I guess that will bring us to the end.
Yes.
Can't wait for episode 12.
Yes, please.
Yes, so until next time.
Bye.
Bye.